We are live. Welcome to Tuesday.
Hola,
Hola.
hola. Sean looked like she's meditating.
No, I think she's just frozen with her eyes closed.
Today
Today is not Georgia's best technology day.
Today is that day we're going to talk about controlling.
Control. And why, when you see the
What?
pink flags, you need to move. Get up,
Run like hell.
run like hell. Because you are just going to waste whatever time you give this person. And I'm not man bashing because it comes in both flavors. hmm
Well,
Mrs. Williams, your technology is very shit tonight. We love you, but you are frozen with the weirdest look on your face.
yes.
Yeah.
But we could start it off, so set it off, Barbara.
All right. This is where the whole pink flag of the thing comes in. When you find someone and they appear controlling, what they're going to do is like create a narrative that they have something that you really need, or like only they love you, or like your future, you belong together, it's fate, you're soulmates. But they're going to use this to make like a balance of power. Like, yeah, you belong to me, I am your soulmate, like I am the thing that like your heart really needs, like I'm the only man that's going to give you a future, all this kind of bullshit, so that they create this unbalance of power. Or no woman is ever going to love you like me. I take care of you, I take care of your kids, I take care of your mom, I do this, I do that. It's controlling. It's controlling. That might be, and he or she might really do a good job at those kind of things. But are they doing it because it's the right thing to do? Are they doing it because it holds you in place? It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you from growing or changing or being yourself.
Well, 90% of the time, they're
hmm
holding you, they're doing it because they want to control you.
Right.
They want to have all the power over you. They'll make it seem like they care and they're doing it out of love, but they actually have a motive behind the whole situation. So
Well,
you have to
look how
respect.
much I
You have
do
to
for you.
recognize.
Look at all I've done for you.
Right, right. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't do this. That's
Oh,
always one of
that's
the great
when
ones.
that's when you know things have like gone off the rails. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't do this. Every single woman that I've ever talked to that's been hit heard that.
Or the "you made me do this."
You made me do this. Yeah. And every person that's been abused by their partner has heard, you made me do this. You made me act upon it. I only I only hit you when you get stupid.
Right. And that part is crazy. And you have to understand, I tell people all the time, men and women, you have to understand, if a person truly cares for you, they would not put their hands on you. They will not abuse you on any level. And abuse isn't always physical, it's mental, it's monetarial.
The Yeah, financial abuse is huge. It's huge. And that's one of those real easy control things for
Right,
one partner. Like, oh, you know what? It's best if the financials are left in like one person's hands because too many cooks in the pot. And then the next thing you know, you're getting out of a relationship and you don't know where your money been the whole time.
right. They
Or worse
control
yet,
the whole bank account.
yeah. Oh no, we need a joint bank account. No, you need one joint checking account. Actually, every relationship where two people live together needs three bank accounts. Yours, mine, and the bills.
Right.
And oh my, when I left my marriage, I had no, all the assets were in his name, all the liabilities were in mine.
Wow.
And I was so like, good Lord, I was so stupid when I got married. I was like, oh, but I love him. I paid for my whole wedding. I even rented his tuxedo.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was always saving for something, and I was
And
always spending for something.
so you paid everything for your wedding.
Everything, everything, like everything. And then a couple of years later, I was in Florida, at his parents' house, and they were like talking about something. And his mother comes at me like, "You had credit card bills when you got married." Yeah, because I paid for my whole wedding and I had to find the money to rent an apartment.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And it was so controlling that he was like, you can't ever tell anybody about any of this because they're just going to see how bad you are with money. I have all this money saved for our future. And I'm like, okay, okay. And sure enough, come to find out 15 years later, he's got a fuck ton of money. And it is not connected to me in any way. And I just kept saying, like, okay, 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 because I was so like grinded down. And I remember like thinking in the very beginning, like some of the little pink flags. And that was like how this eventually became an idea. Because I remember seeing things like, like little criticism about things like eyeliner and dancing. And I was kind of like, I like the way I look. I like the way I dance. I like the way I dress.
What was the criticism as far as dancing?
That I didn't dance like I was actually like Latin. I danced like a white girl who learned to dance Latin. Ding ding ding. Guess what? That's exactly what I was.
Wow.
And then when I oh my god, when I learned to cook all these things and it's like it doesn't taste right. It tastes like a white girl trying to like imitate a Puerto Rican grandmother's recipes. Mm, okay. I'll try harder.
So he used to hold that over your head.
Like a fucking canopy, like a fucking parasol. Like he was walking around keeping the sun from hitting me.
Mm.
And that's why I
And
think like, because I was young. You were very young when you got married too.
yes, yes. And that's that mental shit. Like Like I tell people, anytime you speak of abuse, everybody automatically goes to physical. But that mental abuse could be a mother. They could beat you down, they could wear you down with that mental abuse. Because it's like you said, you're not looking to satisfy yourself. You're looking to satisfy someone else. You're worried about their feelings and their needs, and you're not worried about your own. And they know it. And like you said in our last episode, people know what buttons to push. And when they know what buttons to push and they know how to manipulate you, they go right for those buttons. Oh, you did this wrong. You did this wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. If you loved me, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't do that. So it's a lot. It's a lot of manipulation. It's a lot of baggage that comes with this. So
Yeah.
you really have to be ready. And like I when I was younger, I dated a girl that almost any time I was out with my friends, she would call and cry, or she would be upset. Like, you don't love me, you don't want to be with me. I'm like, I'm right in the back of the building playing basketball. What are you talking about? But at that time, I didn't get it. But as I got older and started understanding things, like I saw the manipulation, I saw what she was about. Oh, pardon me. And and she had her own issues also. But with that being said, it was like I'm gonna do this to make you conform to what I want. And
Oh no.
if a person has to make you conform, that's a relationship that's never gonna work.
It's
Because
bad for you.
right,
That's a relationship that is bad for you. Nothing good about it. Nothing's good gonna come from it. It's just bad for you. And it's funny because like I'm right now, I'm starting to do the online dating thing. Like basically just I got a profile up and occasionally somebody will hit me. No, over the weekend, and I'd already picked this. That was why this is the perfect topic because I'd already picked this. And here I am, I'm talking to a gentleman, and he's all like, I can't wait to meet you. I'm really excited. You seem like my kind of girl. And I'm like, I'll hit you up later. I gotta go get some food. And that was being polite. That was more information than this guy needed.
right,
But what I meant was, I'm gonna go do my food shopping and like run some errands and basically take the next couple of hours to do what the fuck I want because I pay my own bills. But anyway, every minute, what time will you be back? What are you eating? Where'd you go to eat?
wow,
It's 6:15 now. It takes till 8:45. I gave you 8:45. Like, don't be polite. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be polite. If someone who has not known you for more than 48 hours is asking you where you're coming or you're going, block them. There is no, they will make a polite excuse for why they came on too strong today. They will make a different excuse for why they come on too strong tomorrow. They will make a different excuse for next week, the week after that, your birthday, Halloween, your nephew's cousin's bar mitzvah. They're just going to always have an excuse for why their actions are justified, and you don't need 2.5 hours to go get food or go see your mother, your sister, your cousin, whatever. They're establishing a pattern where they're going to be right and you're going to be wrong.
Well, that person would never hear back from me, first of all. I would have lost their number,
Oh no,
lost their.
I blocked them because I was having one of those deep convos with one of my girls. You know, one of those rainy afternoons where you just sit there for like a couple of hours talking to one of your girlfriends about like the past, the present, the future, and all of it. Like I've, like girl talk. You have daughters, you know how they do.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
you, yeah,
But it also goes to let you understand, like, if in the first couple of conversations, a person is trying to control a narrative of everything, what do you think is going to happen if you ever really get serious with this person?
yeah.
Like, we just started talking and you want to know where I'm at, what I'm doing, what time I'm doing this. How, like, no, no, everybody needs their peace of mind and their time to themselves. And if we're in a relationship, I understand that we have to communicate on certain levels about what I'm doing, who I'm with, but if right off grip a person is coming at you like that, you better haul ass and get away from that person because that's going to be a problem down the line, and you don't want that problem. So,
No, you really don't. You really don't. And it's like, it all really also comes down to that thing that I always talk about on this show is the myth of the good girl. Like, I gotta be good because I'm a girl, and you gotta be bad because you're a boy.
well, like I understand that myth, and I I'm funny with that myth. You people may call me old fashioned or whatever, but I do hold women to a standard that I don't hold men.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit it. I hold women to a certain standard that I will never hold a man. But I value a woman on a level I would never value a man. So that's my reasoning. And I do tell women, when you do certain things and you put yourself in certain situations, you devalue yourself. So I guess it depends on what that person's trying to do, what your situation is. It's a lot to it. But like, I know a lot of my women friend tells me, "Oh, it's a double standard," and I feel it's not a double standard. I just feel it's I put more value on that woman than I put on a man. And it's like I said, it's like I told someone, it's like if you buy a new car, that new car has a lot more value than the used car. And I tell women, if you value yourself, you got to look at it like a man cannot. A woman could walk down the block and say, "I want to sleep with you, you, and you." No problem. A man doesn't have the same power. We have to work for what we want. as far as that physical intimacy with a woman.
There's a whole lot of men out there not working for what they want. And that's where the control comes in. Instead of being a leader, they use intimidation, domination, tricks, coercion, emotional abuse, physical violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So I get what you're saying. Like, you, as a man, you try to be a leader. Your job and your position in the society, you are a leader. You lead your family. You're still
Mhm,
on great terms with your ex-wife and revere her for being such a wonderful mother to your kids. And
mhm.
you encourage your sons to be equal partners, and you encourage your daughters to not be anything less.
Right, 100%.
Yeah. And I love that about you. However, a lot of other men who are not on the up and up, who can't live on the pedestal where I put you on, my darling, a lot of men that aren't on the up and up are going to try and get what you feel that you've earned and deserved by being a fuckwit.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. It's
Yeah, I've dated many of them.
a lot of manipulative, control freaks, but a lot of them don't even have they're not secure with themselves.
Oh,
So
absolutely not.
if you're not secure with yourself, you have to control every situation. So it becomes it becomes a very toxic situation because at the end of the day, you know what you need, you know what you want. But I tell guys like this: if you're dating, you know what type of woman you want. So don't go to don't go to a woman. If you want a homebody, don't go to a club looking for a woman.
Don't try and turn a hoe into a housewife.
Right. Like it's not it's not the correct thing to do. And even that terminology, turn a hoe into a housewife, that is very old school.
That's a really shitty statement, and I do, but it's a common statement. That is
Right,
a
right,
common statement because there is no good reason why a hoe can't be a housewife. They're not mutually exclusive, but you can't make her one.
right. She has to
You
want to
can't
be.
make a woman be anything she doesn't want to be.
Right. She has to want to be that housewife. She has to embrace that circumstance. And like I said, to me, there's a blurred line in a lot of this. And it all comes down to perception and what I may perceive as good or the right thing, the next person may be like, no, that's not for me. So I can't judge that person because they're not what I'm into. And the thing with that is I may be a person that's like, yo, I don't want to deal with a woman that's clubbing every week. The next person might not care. The next person may be like, I'm into being in the bars and lounges, and this is what I enjoy doing. This is what I like doing. So it
I mean,
depends on
I'll tell you, I want at this point in my life, I want somebody who wants to get loose on the weekends. Like, I'm a little bit, I gotta be realistic. I'm a little bit old for the clubs, But I do want somebody who wants to like go see some live music, dance, get a couple of drinks. Like, let's go, let's have a date night, like a legit date night once a week and do different things, not just like here and there.
But it's nothing wrong with that. My thing I'm saying is you're talking about you and that person having a date night. I'm
Yeah.
talking about that person, male or female, being up in the rowdy bars like every weekend, getting drunk, acting the fool. Some people may think it's okay. Me, I'm like, nah, I need someone that can do what you said. Like, we could go on date nights together. We could go to the movies. We could go to dinner. We could go to a museum. We could just go for a walk in the city and just hang out. So it also depends on what you're looking for and what you want to do as far as the relationship. And it also comes down to a respect for yourself because you can't allow anyone to control you. Even when you're married, no one controls no one. You're in control of you.
Yeah.
But you have to understand when you're in a relationship,
There's a
it has to be
difference between taking someone else's feelings and needs into, and I'm not contradicting what you're saying, I'm reinforcing what you're saying. There's a big difference between taking somebody's feelings and thoughts and needs into consideration when you act upon something
right.
and having that be the first thing you think of. Like, can I do can I do this without pissing them off? Can I
Mhm.
do them can I do that without them hurting me? Can I do them without them like coming back at me? Will there be blowback if I make plans with my girlfriends? Or like even the person who's in a relationship and it's like, oh, I like to do this, that, the other thing. It will, you know what? If it's not these two or three things, you do them with your friends. But if you want to do the things that I like, then we could do them together. So essentially, there's like a whole list of shit that like you enjoy that you want to do, and they're not about that. They're only about like how not how you need to be loved and dealt with, how you love and deal with them, how you need to be loved and cared for and addressed in the world is of no consequence, just as long as they feel like they're being loved right. Love is
Mhm.
a verb.
The whole thing with everybody has their different definition of love, lust. Some people get lust confused with love. Some people get love confused with controlling. So it's a lot into it. As I always say, every aspect of a relationship, you have to converse. You have to communicate with your significant other because you could be thinking of one thing, they're thinking of another thing, and neither one of you are on the same page. So, for a relationship to work, to me, you have to be somewhat on the same page. You have to be somewhat selfless. You think of yourself, but you have to also think of your significant other, and then you go from there. But a relationship, it shouldn't be hard, but I don't think a relationship is super easy either. I think anything you want in life, you got to work for it, and that includes a relationship. Like like I said, I could be a party animal talking to someone that really is not a party animal, doesn't like doing certain things, that don't mean they're a bad person. And it doesn't mean I'm a bad person because I like to go out. But you got to find a happy medium with one another so your situation could work. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think a lot of people look at it like, well, I'm not going to let this person tell me what I can and can't do. And you shouldn't, but you should respect the person you're dealing with. And if you think you can't deal with that situation, I'd rather walk away than have a person lingering thinking they have something that they really don't have. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. I wish you all the best. I'm not the one for you. And there's nothing wrong with saying that to a person. And there's nothing wrong with a person saying that to you. Like, nah, I could already see we have different goals. And if we have different goals, this isn't gonna work. So I don't know. It's you have to figure out what's right for you.
Yeah. No, you absolutely need to find a person. And that's kind of the whole point of the concept of pink flags. Finding a person, knowing how not to waste your time or somebody else's time. You come in, you have a date or two, you have a conversation or two, and you realize, like, yeah, this person isn't for me. Like, if somebody asks you 4 or 5 times on your first date, like, do you want to get married? All right. You asked me once. I said, yeah, I think like eventually I'd like to get married. So, how long would you date before you get married? I don't know, maybe like a year. Oh, well, does it have to be a year? Why are we talking about this? Like, I don't even know your last name or your favorite color. Like, which movie do you like better? Like, The Godfather or Pulp Fiction? Like, what the fuck? Why are you asking me these hard questions? And why do I have to answer you? You know, if
But
I
see,
wanted all these questions, I would have taken the Jeopardy test. Okay?
some people wear their heart on their sleeve.
I
And
know. I wear mine as a jacket.
and they want to get everything out on that first date. So I don't know how I would take that. It depends on how I feel. But I think I probably would tell a person like, this is only our first date. Like, we don't have to get that deep.
Slow down. You don't
Right.
even know, like, you don't even know what I like to eat. Like, what would, and there's so much like involved in figuring out if you want, if somebody's trying to be controlling or not. Like, there's so many ways they can come at you. Like, I need an answer. You need to answer me now. No, I don't.
And that shows a lot when a person comes at you on that level. Oh, I need my answer now. I'm just asking because I want to know where we stand. We stand at this is a first date.
Yeah,
So,
first date, we're standing at like, I don't know, maybe like a Manhattan and a craft beer. I think that's like all we're at.
but some people don't get it. Some people don't see it. And I look at it like, listen, you have to understand, like, I don't know if it's a culture difference. I don't know if it's I'm an outgoing and you an introvert difference. I just know that I like to take my time with certain things. So if you can't understand that and you can't respect that, I'm not the person for you. Like it's just I don't know. But I tell people all the time, like, figure out what you want, be honest about what you want, and take it from there. That's it.
Yeah. Like pretty much in the world, I think right now, I mean, I know what I would like. And I think going forward, you know what you would like
Yes.
to be left alone forever with an occasional drive by.
But I've had people ask me, "Oh, I know you've been married before. Would you ever get married again?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I I'm not scared of marriage. I'm not in a rush to get married or whatever, but I am definitely not scared of marriage and I know what I want in a woman. So I'm good with it. But you know, you have to find a person that is compatible. Like people say opposites attract. Opposites attract, but opposites also push away. So like I feel you have to take your time, figure out what you're looking for, figure out what that person is looking for, and go for it from there. That's it.
Yeah, but don't tell me what to do in the meantime.
Oh no, 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 no.
No. It's
That
like,
doesn't work.
yeah,
That really definitely doesn't work.
no, it's, here you are and, you're at the point where you'd really like to have somebody in your life. But the problem with that whole thing is, when do you know that you've already given them too much time?
I think you know when you're given too much time, it's when the whole situation feels exhausting. Once I feel like I exhausted everything, I no longer want to be involved. I no longer want to deal. I just look at it like this was just a waste of time, a waste of energy. And it's time to step away. If I feel I've exhausted myself and we're going over the same stuff over and over and over, it's time to walk away and leave it alone. I may like a person. I've went on dates with ladies that I've liked. We got along pretty well, but something in my soul,
It didn't sit right.
right, it just so I'm like, nah, we gotta go.
That's
So I
like the whole point of this. Is like the pink flag is when it doesn't sit right.
and
Like
if
the
it
white
doesn't
flag is obvious.
right, if it doesn't sit right, I'm like, yo, we gotta leave this alone. You gotta do what you gotta do. I have to do what I have to do. I wish you the best. I don't want to waste your time. But I know we have nothing here. So, and if you know there's nothing Don't waste your time or don't waste the person's time. Like it's too much bull already out here in the world to bring drama and nonsense to a search to a situation. Like I would say a couple of years ago, I was talking to a young lady, and she was cool. We got along excellent, very well, or whatever. But that's when I had my first surgery, and I was telling her like, "Yo, I wasn't going over a house that often." Blah blah. She was like, "I feel you ghosted me," and I was like, "Listen, I'm going through some things, medical, blah blah blah." No, but hold up. If you can't understand the little things, what happens if something big comes up? So I was like, all right, you know, I'm sorry you feel this way. Live long and prosper. I don't have time for no BS. Like she wasn't getting it. She felt I was trying to get over on her. If I'm showing you medical records and all that and you still don't get it,
You shouldn't have to show anybody
right.
medical
And
records.
that's my point. But I'm
You
saying I even went to the point that I'm like, I will show you. I'm not trying to get over on you. But let me tell you that my answer that I figured out, I said, this is a woman that's hurt. She's been through some shit. Some guy did her filthy or whatever. And now she looks at every guy like he's the opposition and he's out to get her and out to hurt her. And that's why I also tell people don't get a relationship if you're not ready. Don't try to get serious with someone if you're not over your last situation because you're going to bring all the bullshit from them to the new one. And that's not fair to your new person. So you have to figure out what you want, what you can deal with, what you cannot deal with, and take it from there. And that's the sad part. A lot of people lose out on good people because they're still holding baggage from their last situation. And I try when I'm dating, I try to never compare my exes to the next or anything like that. Every person has their own thing. Every person has their own positives and negatives. So you can't get caught up into what happened to you, what you've been through. You have to focus on what you're dealing with at this moment. And I really tell people, I think you should wait a few months at least after a breakup before you start dealing with anybody else because you got a lot of a lot of nonsense you have to deal with.
Yeah, you got to get it all out of your system.
Right.
That's like the biggest thing. Get it out of your system. Go to therapy. Get like loosen it up. If you have to like, you know, journal. Anybody I ever talked to that started journaling after a breakup, looked back at the old journal after a year and was like, I must have been out of my mind. That is some spectacular level bullshit.
And you have to understand,
Maybe you were a little out of your mind.
right. You have and you have to break it down like I said, sometimes you go above and beyond for a person that's not even going above and beyond for their own self. So if you're not going hard for yourself, I know you're not going to go hard for me. And if you're in a situation where you're telling yourself, well, I understand this person and they only did this one. No, no. Once they do it once, that's enough for me because they're already showing, like, they're
They show
already
their
giving
ass.
you signs. Right.
When somebody tells you who they are,
Believe it.
mhm,
100%. And like I live by that code now. Like I'm not gonna take the bullshit. Like if I have to be alone, I'll be alone. I'm not gonna take the bullshit. I'm not gonna drag bullshit into anything, but I'm definitely not gonna take bullshit either. Like and people that are controlling, especially if they know you and you guys have history together, they know how to control. They, like you said, they know these buttons to push. If you're telling them like, listen, I'm a busy person, don't call me every single day, and they're telling you, well, I like you, I have to call. But I told you what I need and what I could deal with.
yeah, you don't have to call me like you want to call me like every third day, but just like text me a what's up in the morning.
Right.
We're straight. I don't, I would say for the first 6 months to a year into the relationship, if all you want to do is talk to me like one time in between when you see me on the weekend and text me like, we're straight, we're good, we're good. I don't, I have friends, I have sisters, I got, if I need a guy's opinion, I'd rather have yours than some rando I might have plenty of fish. What the fuck?
Hmm.
I don't, oh, I'm sorry. You want input on what goes on in my apartment? And what bill will you be paying for this month?
That's right. And I've always told Sean, that's the one thing I love about having friends like you guys. I could bounce the perspective off and cut right through the bull and you guys will call me on it. Nah, wise, that's a little overly
A little
aggressive.
excessive.
Right. So that works. But like I said, people have to understand. I think you have to understand yourself in order to deal with other people. And like I said, you give of yourself, but I'm not telling anybody to give everything of themselves. You know, so you have to look at it for what it is and understand what you're trying to deal with and what you're trying to get into. And when you figure that out, everything will be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, too, one of the controls that people never talk about is, like you were saying, when you were recuperating from your first of several surgeries,
Hmm.
and somebody's like feeling like they're neglected. When you taking care of yourself causes a potential partner to feel neglected, check please.
A
We're
hundred
done with this
percent.
meal. There's nothing served at this table I want. Bye.
And like I said, I understand that person is a hurt person. But at this point in life, I can't deal with a hurt person. Like you have to let that hurt go. I didn't do it to you. The last one did it to you. So that's on you. And even we have to learn sometimes that you don't have to accept that. You don't have to because a person hurt. You didn't hurt them. You didn't do it. So you don't have to take that on. You don't have to wear that. They should have took their time, gotten over whatever they were dealing with, took their time to deal with you and figure that out. Because I always tell people, do not, for the life of you, bring your past bull into your new situation. Even bringing your past into your dating process, it's not good because different people like different things. And you can't hold people to the standard of your ex or whatever. So you have to figure out what you're looking for, what you will accept, what you won't accept, and take it from there.
It catches up to you. It catches up to you. You might think that, like, I worked this all out. You know, I figured it out. I talked about it. I prayed on it, whatever. But it's going to catch up to you.
100%.
And
A
the same
hundred.
thing, if you think that you're going to change somebody, if you're like, oh, he's a little controlling now, but it's going to get better after we get married, the fuck it will. The fuck it will.
If it's a little controlling now,
Yeah.
picture when you get married.
Especially when you get married, when you have babies, when you have a house, when you have one car note, two car notes, a parent in the nursing home. Like, it adds up. And if the person is controlling, it's because they don't know how to communicate their needs and they don't give a fuck about yours. Oh no, it is not going to get better after y'all get married. It's not.
Not at all.
Yeah, a baby's not going to fix it. A new house isn't going to fix it. A new pair of shoes and a good bag might make it okay for a couple of days, but that's just me.
Yes, for a few days.
For a few
But
days from here or there.
right after that, it goes right back to what you don't want to deal with, what
Yeah,
you don't need to deal with.
and then you're gonna hear that what they did for you because they gave you the shoes and the bag.
Right, right. But I got you this, I bought you this, I did this. Did you do it out of love or did you do it because you wanted to hold it over my head? And that's what I tell people. If you did it out of love, that's one thing. If you did it because you want to hold it over me, here, take it back. I'm cool with that. You can have all this. I can't get back my time, but I'm willing to say, all right, lesson learned. And sometimes that's what it is. Certain people,
Hi,
ladies,
Layla. Sorry you joined late. This was a good one.
certain people are just a lesson in life. Certain people understand, like,
The ones that date me.
yeah, certain people have to understand, like, we weren't made for forever. We might have been made for just a conversation because we're definitely not clicking the way we're working. And people should never, if I do something for you, it should be out, it should be out of love. It should be for the situation that I really like you. I wanted to do this for you, and this is what I'm doing. Now we have a disagreement. I shouldn't be throwing what I did for you in your face because that means it wasn't sincere. That means it was from a place of, or what value could I put on this so one day I could hold it over you? And my thing is, if I have to hold it over you, I don't need to be with you. If you have to hold something over me, you definitely don't need to be with me.
Yeah, if I need to keep track of what I did in order to balance out what you do. So we don't have a relationship, we have like a situationship.
Right.
We're not we don't have each other's best interest at heart.
And that's true. And a real relationship is when both people value each other's feelings, needs, desires. I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect relationship
No.
because there's no such thing as a perfect person. But there's relationships that are very, very good because they work at it, they respect one another, they value one another. I might understand, well, she's a person, she's not a morning person. So I'm not going to be all over her in the morning and I'll give her space or whatever. And when we're walking out or whatever, she's ready now. She's good.
Oh, for me personally, as a woman, I can tell you one thing. If you hit me wrong first thing in the morning, neither one of us are going to have a good day. Whoa, if that does not, if my bell is not properly, you want to hit it first thing in the morning? Let's go. But if you do not correctly ring my bell, nobody's having a good day.
But that's what I'm saying. You gotta figure out that person, and you have to understand what that person needs and what they want,
I'm
and that's all
fine.
through a conversation.
I'm fine without it. You want to like leave me be in the morning, let nature wake me up. I'll make a nice breakfast. Hit me for a nooner. Oh, the angels are singing, the birds are flying. It's all good. But wake me up at 8 a.m. and hit me wrong. Only God can save you.
And see, like after the conversation, a person should know that. So I'll be like, I'll leave you alone early in the morning.
Nobody seems to ever know that.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it has to be like, nah. And I'm fine with a nooner. You want to have, you want to put Red Zone on mute for like 45 minutes? Let's party. Do not hit me at 8 a.m. and hit me wrong.
But people will get it. People will understand. And like I said, it's all about, I say this every episode. Communication is the key to everything. Communication, communication, communication. Speak. Let a person know what you're feeling, how you feel, because a person can't look at you and know what's on your mind. I'm sorry. So conversation,
Yeah.
right? They think they know what's on your mind, but they don't. So conversation is so needed. Respect is so needed. Respect your boundaries, respect their boundaries, and we're good. But you also have to understand you have to respect your own boundaries. You
Yeah,
can't
and
give
that's a problem.
right, you can't give everything away to everyone all the time. You have to keep some for you and let people know like what you're not willing to do and what you're willing to take. And that's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how it
kind
is.
of like the whole point of pink flags. You gotta know, you gotta know what you're looking for. You gotta be smart enough to see when that's not what's gonna happen.
Yes, 100%. And our girl, Miss Williams, her sucky computer. Hopefully, we'll have that fixed next week because we're out of our time now.
Yeah, not to, not to speak ill of the state of Georgia, but just saying people there are actually voting for Herschel Walker.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
And
that says a lot.
yeah, no internet and possibly having a guy that A has the IQ of Dryerland and B don't even live in the state to the United States Senate. The lack of internet is not entirely surprising.
Yes, definitely. But Layla, thank you for jumping
Joining us,
on. Barbara, see you later. It's always a pleasure. Much
always a
love.
pleasure. Thank you,
And,
thank you.
and everybody,
Next week we're going to talk about fixing broken people.
can you fix a broken person?
We're going to find out next week.
All right, that's what's up.
That's what's
Love you, Barbara. Love everyone.
up.
Have
Okay.
a good
Love you.
one.
Mwah.
Bye bye.
Bye.